Ladies and gentlemen, this video is about the coronavirus and the quasi-epidemic that's happening. The hysteria is already starting. I myself wanted to get my hands on a specialized hospital mask that is airtight and 100% droplet proof, almost like wearing a gas mask. I went to Amazon and they're sold out, all of them. And so there was plan B now, and I'm not going to tell you what plan B is till I get my hands on 1,000 of these masks. The thing that's bothering me the most is the report of the incubation time. It doesn't sound like a coronavirus, and it doesn't sound like a respiratory virus. Your respiratory system has white cells that patrol all the time in your mucus, in your saliva, in your lungs, in your trachea. So if you have a virus that hangs out there for too long a time, he's going to get outed, usually. So I'm not really buying the 2-week incubation, and that would freak me out, to have a respiratory virus with a 2-week incubation. And oh yeah, that's contagious while it's in incubation stage. So there's something just not adding up there. But you know, when they're cordoning off entire cities, millions of people, that's been our worst nightmare. We always thought an EMP was going to be what was going to do that, but now we see it's not. And remember during 2012, 2013, FEMA and the National Guard, and I mean, all these people were having these creepy drills, cordoning off cities, mandatory vaccinations, those, you know, DNA checkpoints. I mean, that's crazy stuff. And I'm glad it went away, but now it seems like this is what they've been preparing for. And the fact that I can't get the mask that I wanted is disappointing to me, but I feel like I can beat back any virus with what I have just here in my medicine cabinet. So we're going to come out with a video 48 hours from now. It's going to have very firm recommendations. It's going to have an extensive comment section so that you can copy and paste into your emails and have very firm, very clear instructions. Last time I did that on the Ebola, I found my instructions on Godlike Productions and Before It's News. And some people had gotten the numbers wrong. They'd cut off a 0 here or a 0 there, or added a 0, which was even more incredible. So we're going to try it again, and it's going to be available mainly to our Patreon subs, but we'll make the video available to our extended family on YouTube as well. The coronavirus thing is, frankly, our worst nightmare. This is the perfect storm. This is the martial law. This is economic collapse. This is everything we feared and had to fear a few years ago. It's important that you protect yourself, and the regular surgical masks are porous as hell, and basically, even if you're sick and you wear them and you cough, the air shoots out behind you, but yet still a mask as a barrier. It's porous, but it still limits your risks. It reduces your risk. Being in public is a big health risk if this is a true epidemic. Working retail is going to be a nightmare. Working daycare is going to be a nightmare. going to Disneyland is probably, in another week or so, is probably not going to be recommended. I want to say right now, when you go shopping, that you need to wash your milk cartons when you handle them. And your orange, anything with a carton in the fridge needs to be washed. And then you have to really wash your hands coming out of the grocery store as well. We have other recommendations that are so important. They're really simple things that can make a big difference in whether you get this thing or not. Prevention is your number one concern. Once you get sick, once you catch this, then there's a whole set of things that you need to do. So stay tuned for that video. It'll be out in about 48 hours. And I don't trust anybody. I don't trust that when they spray in the air that it's all up and up. I don't trust anybody. And the last couple days, I've seen more geoengineering going on than I've seen in years for being rural. Now, it could be they're trying to protect the snowpack from melting too quickly. But I'm telling you, that's a lot of stuff in the air the last few days. But an ounce of prevention is a ton of cure right now. You don't want to take your babies out in public. You don't want to take the elderly out in public. You want to actually think of this as being an epidemic already, to be on the safe side, mainly because of the reports about this long incubation period. The part about it being virulent and that you could still pass it along even in its dormant phase, that's still another, that's just, something isn't adding up. But since the surgical masks that I specifically wanted are already gone, and so now we're going to Plan B, and we're going to let you in on it in about 48 hours what's going on. There's some things you can do right now, and so stay tuned. But if you're going to stockpile food and water and stuff like that, I would do that tomorrow. I mean, before people make a run, I would just go ahead and do it, and I would get a water filter. You know, if you're looking at a 3-month-long quarantine, you're going to want to use your tap water, and you're going to want to be able to filter it. So the Brita filter and the Brita type filters, they're not bad for tap water. Not too bad. Having a little bleach around, peroxide around, you can never have too much peroxide. You can sterilize water with that. So stay tuned. Beware of public places. Wash your hands frequently. And I'll talk to you later. I'll see you in a couple days.